Virality looks random from the outside. One video hits 10 million views, and the video posted the same day by the same creator hits 40,000. Same channel, same quality, same audience, and the creator sits there wondering what the algorithm did differently when the algorithm didn't do anything differently at all. The algorithm responded to human psychology, which the viral video triggered, and the non viral one didn't. Understanding that distinction is worth more than any tactical growth advice because it operates at a level deeper than thumbnails or titles or posting schedules. It operates at the level of why human beings share things. And sharing is the only mechanism through which a video becomes viral. And here's the psychology that actually drives it. Virality is not an algorithm event, it's a social one. The first and most important reframe: a video doesn't go viral because the algorithm pushed it. The algorithm pushes it because humans started sharing it. The casual arrow runs from human behavior to algorithmic amplifications, not the other way around. Understanding this change everything about how you think about creating content with viral potential. When a video goes viral, the sequence almost always looks like this. The video gets posted. A small initial audience watches it. A meaningful percentage of that audience shares it, sends it to someone, posts it somewhere, shows it to a person in the room with them. And those recipients, they watch it. A meaningful percentage of them share it too. And the sharing compounds the algorithmic signals generated by this compounding sharing pattern. High CTR from external traffic. High completion rate, high engagement velocity are what triggers the algorithm to amplify distribution. The algorithm sees the compounding signal and scales what's already happening. A video that gets pushed by the algorithm to a cold audience without the preceding organic sharing behavior rarely sustains the distribution. And the algorithm tests it, gets moderate signals and retreats. Viral isn't an algorithm state, it's a social state that the algorithm notices and amplifies. So the question that actually matters is, what makes humans share? And the six psychological triggers of sharing. Sharing research has been running in academic psychologically since the social web existed, okay? The findings are consistent enough across cultures and platforms that they function as reliable principles rather than interesting observations. These six triggers are the most direct applicable to video content. Trigger one, okay? Social currency. People share things that make them look good, interesting, or informed to the people they share with. A video that contains a surprising fact, a counterintuitive insight, or information that makes the sharer appear to know something others don't have or has social currency. Do you see this? Or is this a social transaction? The sharer is offering value and receiving social credit for the offering. Content with high social currency is content that makes the viewer feel smarter, more interesting, or more in the know by virtue of having watched it. Trigger two, emotional arousal. High arousal emotions drive sharing far more than low arousal ones. The awe, anger, anxiety, and amusement are high arousal states. They generate the psychological energy that motivates action and includes the action of sharing. Sadness and contentment are low arousal states. They are felt deeply but don't generate the energy that produces behavior. A video that makes you feel genuinely angry about something unjust, or genuinely awestruck by something beautiful, or genuinely delighted by something unexpected activates the nervous system in a way that makes sharing feel like a natural release of the arousal state. Trigger 3, practical value. People share useful things. If a video solves a problem that someone they know also has, sharing it is an act of generosity that also signals competence and thoughtfulness. This might help you is one of the most common sharing motivations, and it operates independently of entertainment value. A genuinely useful tutorial with zero production quality can go viral because its practical value is high enough that the people it helps immediately think of someone else it would help. Trigger number 4, identifying your signaling. People share content that reflect who they are or who they want to be perceived as. A person who sees himself as environmentally conscious shares environmental content. A person who identifies as a creative entrepreneur shares content about building business and unconventionality. The viewer is not just passing along information, they're making a statement about themselves through the content they associate with publicly. Content that crystallizes a worldwide view, validates an identity, or articulates something a specific community believes but hasn't heard said clearly before has high identity signals, value, and spreads rapidly within the community. Trigger number 5, narrative incompleteness. Stories and arguments that leave something unresolved create a psychological compulsive to find out what happens and to share the unresolved question with other people who might also want to know. The serial narrative that ends each episode on a cliffhanger, the video that raises a question it doesn't fully understand, and the compelling setup without a tidy conclusion. These are deliberate applications of the open loop principle, and they work because the human brain experiences the unresolved narrative as mild but persistent discomfort that motivates engagement. Trigger 6, social proof of novelty. When something is already spreading, it becomes more shareable. The first few thousand shares on a video signal to subsequent viewers that this is something worth paying attention to. This is the mechanism that makes virality self reinforcing once it starts. Social proof tells each new viewer that their sharing behavior is validated by the behavior of people who watched before them. It's also why the early hours of videos life matters. A video that accumulates rapid early engagement signals novelty and social proof simultaneously, which lowers the barrier for subsequent sharing. And why most videos trigger none of these. The honest assessment of why most videos don't go viral is not they're bad content. It's that they were created with creators' perspective rather than the sharer's perspective in mind. A video made to demonstrate expertise triggers social currency only weekly because the sharer doesn't feel smarter for watching it. They feel taught. A video made to entertain the creator's existing audience doesn't necessarily trigger the identity signaling the practical value that would motivate a viewer to share it. With someone outside the audience, a video that covers a topic thoroughly and responsibly, but without emotional arousal, generates appreciation, but not the psychological energy that produces sharing behavior. The shift from what do I want to say to why would someone share this is the creative reorientation that produces content with viral potential. Each piece of content can be evaluated against the 6 triggers. Does it give the viewer social currency? Does it create emotional arousal? Does it have practical value worth passing on? Does it signal something about the viewer's identity? Does it leave something unresolved? Does it create the early social proof signal that makes subsequent sharing feel validated? A video that strongly activates even 2 of these 6 triggers have meaningfully higher viral potential than a video that activates none. And the difference between viral and evergreen. Okay. One clarification worth making explicitly. Okay. Viral and valuable are not synonyms, and neither is a superior goal for every channel. Videos, they spike in distribution and then they decay. They bring in a sudden influx of viewers, many of whom have no particular affinity for the channel's ongoing content. And the subscriber conversion rate from a viral traffic is typically lower from search or recommendation traffic because the viral viewer was attracted by the specific video's social trigger rather than by the channel's niche value. Viral growth can actually damage a channel's algorithmic audience profile by flooding it with new subscribers who don't engage with the non viral content. Evergreen videos grow slowly and permanently. They don't trigger social sharing at a scale, but they answer specific questions that people search and for consistently. Generate reliable search traffic indefinitely and convert at higher rates to engage long term subscribers. And for most channels and most niches, a library of strong evergreen content is more valuable than a single viral hit. The optimal approach is not choosing between viral and evergreen, but understanding which trigger applies to which piece of content. Evergreen content maximizes practical values and answers specific reoccurring questions. Viral potential content maximizes emotional arousal, social currency, or identity signaling on topics with broad enough appeal to generate cross audience sharing. engineering shareable moments inside videos too. Virality doesn't have to be the goal of an entire video to be a meaningful growth lever. A single shareable moment inside a longer video, a 20-second clip with high emotional arousal, a specific insight with obvious social occurrency, a practical tip with immediate value can generate sharing behavior that drives traffic to the full video without the entire video needing to carry viral potential. This is why extracting short clips for shorts, reels, and TikToks is a genuine growth strategy rather than just repurposing content. The clip activates the sharing psychology, and the sharing drives the traffic. The traffic finds the full video, and the full video converts to subscribers. The social trigger is the entry point, and the longer content is the value proposition that converts the visit into a relationship. Identify the moment in your next video that has the highest social currency, emotional arousal, or practical value. Pull that moment out, give it its own framing as a standalone piece of content, and let the sharing psychology do the work, introducing new viewers to what you do. The psychology of virality is not a mystery, though. It's a set of triggers, well documented and consistently applicable, and that your content either activates or doesn't. Activate them deliberately, and the sharing follows. The algorithm will take care of the rest. Thanks for watching. If you could, check out this video on the right. It might help you on your journey, and we'll check you on the next one.